our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplift perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want. Watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
And I'm not alone in the studio. I am with a very good friend of mine that always answers to me anytime I call, Mr. Fred O'Neill. Hi, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, hi. Hello to you too.
Thank you for joining me on your perspective to give your perspective on what we'll be talking about today. Today, we will be talking about what's trending. Trending topics, trending events that happened this week and recently. So it's no news that Governor Ademola Adeleke had an altercation with Senator Remi Tinubu, the wife of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and it unfolded on December 7th, 2025, which is on a Sunday, during the 10th coronation anniversary celebration of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Anitan Ogunwusi, at his palace in Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria. So it happened that there are videos flying around that, this duo had an altercation, and the event was a high-profile Yoruba cultural gathering attended by dignitaries, traditional leaders, and politicians from across the country. A key highlight was the Oni's conferment of the prestigious chieftaincy title, Yeye Asiwaju Gbogboile Odua, which means Mother, Leader of all Yoruba land, on Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. This title symbolizes leadership and influence within the Yoruba cultural spheres, and Mrs. Tinubu used her acceptance speech to pledge renewed hope and prosperity for Nigeria starting in 2026. Before we go further on this, we'll go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Let us allow this brief intro to sit in, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Yeah, we'll be taking that story again because I want those that are just joining us to, follow up what was read earlier. I said it unfolded, the whole altercation unfolded on December 7th, 2025, on Sunday during the 10th coronation anniversary celebration of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi at his palace in Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria. The event was a high-profile Yoruba cultural gathering attended by dignitaries, traditional leaders, and politicians from across the country. A key highlight was the Oni's conferment of the prestigious chieftaincy title, Yeye Asiwaju Gbogbo Ile Oodua, which I believe means the mother leader of all Yoruba land, on Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. This title symbolizes leadership and influence within Yoruba cultural spheres, and Mrs. Tinubu used her acceptance speech to pledge renewed hope and prosperity for Nigeria starting in 2026. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, the PDP party, the event host in his home state, was invited to deliver a remark. Now, we all know Adeleke for his energetic performative style, often incorporating dancing and singing into speeches as a nod to his background as a musician and entertainer's uncle. Adeleke took the podium and began with a brief worship song and dance. This is the signature of his public appearances, blending faith, culture, and charisma to connect with the audiences. Let's have the video show.
Thank you.
Based off what we have watched, Mr. Fred, what do you have to say about what we just saw?
Well, so much furor, so much noise, about this particular scenario, and if from the story that I'm hearing now, the line that you just told us that it was a worship song he was singing, I don't think it is normal for anybody to go and tell someone to stop singing.
Even in that kind of
in that gathering, in that scenario.
But do you think he was supposed to even sing? He was supposed to give a speech, right? So why sing?
Look,
I think
delivering a speech embodies what you want to, give to the people. How you want to, not what, how you want to give it to the people.
True.
You understand? In English language setting, when you're in written English setting, you have your heading, you have your intro, the body, and the conclusion.
Yeah.
You don't just jump into the conclusion of matter. You introduce yourself. And this man, we have seen over time that his introduction is always singing and dancing.
Which is his style that we all know him.
You understand?
As a dancing governor.
Without that scene, without that thing about him in this kind of public setting, people would question to say, what has happened to this governor?
Our dancing governor.
You understand? So I think it was not a normal thing for the First Lady to have done that. If anybody had the authority or the right to like a message to the governor or to whoever was listening to the speech, shouldn't be you who is the guest. You are a guest in that situation because you were being crowned according to the story.
Yes.
You were being given a title. You are a guest. So whoever had that right, the person is supposed to do that is supposed to be who is hosting. Because in this situation now, we have a state governor, the state governor, who is part of the host.
Yeah.
He's a co-host in this event.
Yes.
The main host there is the king.
The only fair, yeah.
You understand? So the king should have been the one to say, I don't want this thing to drag. He will not send someone to whisper, not to talk even over the microphone.
Because from what we see in the video, I think she was obviously restless, and she spoke to the king, and
it goes a long way. It goes a long way because we know the first lady's husband is a Muslim,
yes.
and we also know that she basically is a Christian.
Yes.
So, like I said, if the song the governor was singing is a worship song, which is a Christian song now,
yeah,
and she became restless about it, her faith is being questioned here.
That's not an angle, but should we look at it from that angle?
I'm looking at it from that angle because there are different angles to look at in this particular scenario.
But
everybody's just looking at why they should cut
like, let's also look at it
off.
like, she was trying to save time.
What time?
Or maybe remind him to round up for other events.
Look, I don't know the precedence to this, maybe we'll find out later. We'll do our research.
Yeah.
Whether she came on time, the time she was supposed to, be installed with that. When they say 9 a.m., was she there 9 a.m.? Because if she came late, which is very, very normal with Nigerian officials, if she came late, she had no right to tell that governor to round up fast.
For those of us that still do not understand what happened in that video, let me let you know what happened. While Adeleke sang, Mrs. Tinubu, seated nearby as the guest of honor, grew visibly impatient. She stood up and approached the podium twice, not just once. She came up, told him whatever she told him, and then while she was going back, the governor just giggled and continued doing what he was doing.
Let me just chip in something. Let me just chip in a question.
Yes.
If Mrs. Remi Tinubu was not the first lady of this country,
would she do that?
Would she have done that?
And she's still a sitting senator, so I don't know.
She wouldn't have done that.
So do you think there's an abuse of power?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
In your opinion?
Yes, my opinion. Is it not my perspective?
Yes.
You want me to give my perspective.
Your perspective,
and that's exactly what I'm saying. It's an abuse of office.
So let me use this to remind our viewers and audience that your perspective is a conversational segment. So please send in your comments, send in what you think, send in what it is that you feel about what we are talking about, and we will be more than glad to read your comments and discuss what you have read on this beautiful platform. So, Mr. Fred, back to you.
Yes. So, I think because this is not for me, this is not the first time Remi Tinubu is doing things like this. I just don't want to go back. Let's just concentrate on
we
this
even have videos of her, pointing fingers at a fellow senator.
I want that videos to be played later. That's why I say I don't want to. Let me not be the one to now start talking about them.
Okay, that video
but the truth is, for me, it was uncalled for. What she did was uncalled for. Like I said earlier on, the question I asked, if she wasn't the first lady of this country, would she have done that?
Yeah.
If she was not a former senator in the National House of Assembly, in the National Assembly rather, would she have done this? This is how our leaders, past and present, abuse power.
Okay, so from the video, the first approach, she whispered to him, reportedly saying, "I'm giving you 5 minutes to conclude your speech. Enough with the music."
She has no right to do that.
Adeleke paused briefly out of courtesy, but resumed singing as she, walked back to her seat. When she heard him singing, she came back frustrated, pivoted and returned, sternly warning, "Give your speech and stop singing or I'll off the mic." I mean, her tone was described by observers as magisterial and condescending, like she was scolding a child. So what audacity does she have to?
You know what?
Not just as a sitting as a political office holder. Now you're talking to a man.
She's not a political office holder.
She's not. No, I mean as a senator, right? Let's look at the office of the senator, right?
Now that's where I was trying to go to. Maybe she was thinking that she's still in the National Assembly because it's a free for all. You can do whatever you want to do in that National Assembly
space. Yes,
you understand.
Yes.
So maybe she still thinks because she is still being referred as Senator Remi Tinubu. Yeah. That's why she just feels that she can do. Because we do not have an
official office of the First Lady.
You understand? So maybe that's why she's doing whatever she's doing or whatever she did in Osun State on that particular day. The truth of the matter is, let's call it a spade a spade. Some of these people are abusing powers.
Yes,
they
true.
are. Let's call it a spade a spade. What she did was uncalled for. This is a governor who was elected by the electorate, by the people of Osun State. You were not elected as a first lady of this nation.
And you dare to do that on a global stage. Adeleke, who was obviously caught off guard, giggled nervously at first, but wrapped up his song awkwardly and proceeded with his speech. And even inside his speech, he still congratulated Mrs. Remi Tinubu on her title, and praising the Oni's leadership. And, even as the honoree, Mrs. Tinubu may have felt entitled to enforce decorum, especially since the ceremony was running long. Some defenders, like aides to the Osun State governor, called it a light-hearted banter between family-like figures in Yoruba politics. However, the power imbalance was stuck. Adeleke is an elected governor in his own state, while Tinubu holds no formal constitutional office. The First Lady is a ceremonial office, and it is not, a political elected office. So I see no reason why, in my opinion, from my perspective, I see no reason why, she did what she did. We all know Adeleke to be a jovial person, and let's look at the personal styles now. Adeleke's jovial, unscripted vibe contrasts with Tinubu's more formal, authoritative demeanor. We know her to be that authoritative and formal person who was honed from her days as Lagos senator between the year 2011 to year 2023, where she clashed publicly, with figures like Dino Melaye, calling him a thug, and Smart Adeyemi, which this incident echoes her history of assertive interventions. Now, we know that, like you said, there's an abuse of power, and we even have a video of her ordering one of the senators to allow her speak, or she'll put off his mic. As a senator to senator now, but let's not even go to senator to governor, senator to senator. You're telling your colleague to put off his mic, pointing at him, telling him to put off his mic and let you speak.
That's the rascality.
That speaks a lot.
That's the rascality of Nigerian politics today.
And it shows how lawless our
that's what I'm saying.
Is.
The rascality of Nigerian politics. I mean, when you look at most of the, in quotes, leaders that we have in this country,
yes,
most of them in our parlance here, we say they are agberos. Many of them were former touts. You understand? I mean, we've seen some former state governors or some state governors right now who were agberos.
True.
You understand? And what do you expect of such leaders in such offices?
When they get to power.
They're already in power. Some of them were, and some are. What do you expect? I don't want to mention states, but or persons, but the viewers there and you and I will know who these governors are or these leaders are. You get?
Yes.
What are they offering to the state where they lead? Nothing, absolutely nothing. And so when you have someone, for instance, who is a troubleshooter at home as a wife and comes to the political space,
that is a lot.
Then there is a problem.
It says
you will
a lot of influence based on the orders and the things you come out to tell us as Nigerians, because now seeing that you live with such a person at home says a lot about you, says a lot about your family. Okay, so doesn't even mean that this man does not even make this decision on his own.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that some of these decisions are actually influenced by this person, because we can see the kind of person that she is based off of what we see on social media.
You know, just a little, digression, but still on this. I don't know if it was this year or last year where we had a theme, not grief for anybody.
Yes,
I think that should be last
year.
Was it this year or last year? Maybe that's what Natasha carried. You know, during that debacle with, and it's still ongoing between herself and the Senate president. And probably that's what the Remi Tinubu is also carrying everywhere she's going. Because right now, I think she was just testing the waters when she did some little things when they just, swore the husband in as president. You know, she was just like the calm person trying to talk to Nigerians, especially the women in Nigeria, to support her husband. Don't worry, things will be well. She was just trying to test the waters, and she saw that there was no intelligent person to talk to her or maybe oppose her. And that's why she started what she's doing. For me, that's my perspective.
Many have viewed it as an abuse of power and public humiliation. PDP chieftain Dele Momodu has called it bullying and disgracing Adeleke before a global audience. Social media users has mocked her and called her a deluded empress with no elected mandate, drawing comparisons to past first ladies like Patience Jonathan. Now there's even a trending video which will come up now of her, humiliatingly or mockingly greeting the first lady. Can we have that video up, please?
First lady to first lady.
Yes, when she was, I think she came to give her speech, or she was like trying to acknowledge the dignitaries or the royal presences that have come, and she was greeting her in such a very odd and awkward way, and I'm like, what kind of greeting is this one? Should be easy by force? Can we, I was just looking like, why do we have her addressing the ex-first lady in such a manner? Can our team have that up for us, please? Also, APC loyalists, okay.
The Sultan and all the other Obas. Mama P, I thank you. You don't smile. Mama P, I'm greeting you. Thank you. Thank you very much for being there. But I said I wanted to greet all our royal fathers that have come to honor me and by extension me. And that's why I'm greeting all of them. And everybody said I should just leave protocol. So I want to thank all our royal fathers who came from far and near. And even a representative from my mother's side is here. The Ogiame, Atunwashe, Modokpe, Orishawa Owabu Owunokere, Modupe. So today is really not a day of long speeches. I want to tell you that I am glad, honored, and I thank the people of Ile-Ife.
We can even see we even saw the way she addressed the Olu of Warri, who's, according to her, a representative from her maternal side. I mean, how can you address a sitting king, a representative from your maternal side? I mean, seeing the king there is saying the kingdom. So how can you say, oh, you also want to greet the representative from your maternal side, though? How do you do that? And even she still has, why greet her like that?
The truth of the matter is, whether a king is from your maternal side or your paternal side, you will give honor to that, leader.
Exactly.
Okay, not representative. What she should have said, you see, that's why I'm saying that we have rascals in the political corridor in Nigeria. If not, what she should have done in giving her greeting to the king was to honor and say, my king from my maternal home.
And, give him all the encomiums and the
not a representative from my maternal home.
And the king is well seated there.
So it shows the arrogance It shows the arrogance and disrespect to traditional setting. You know, before we came on air, we're talking about some persons were saying Yoruba has lost their culture and all that. This is the reason why people say so. This is core traditional Yoruba person, and look at what she's doing.
APC loyalists have downplayed it as a needless controversy or playful aunt-nephew ribbon. Tinubu is a political elder in their Adeleke family circle since the 1990s. Some praise her for enforcing time discipline at a packed event. That brings us back to what you were saying. And then on her side, she posted on December 10th a cryptic message on X, formerly Twitter. Don't amplify my minor missteps. Okay, so she has agreed that's a misstep.
Okay.
Dismissing the backlash as a needless controversy. Interestingly, hours earlier, she warmly congratulated Adeleke's wife, Titilola Adeleke, on her 60th birthday, praising her work for the Renewed Hope Initiative, which is Tinubu's pet project. Titi reciprocated, I beg your pardon, with thanks, signaling no lasting rifts. Now, on Adeleke's side, the governor stayed silent publicly. He ignored. He didn't do a backlash. The normal online saga they usually have. He maintained his cool and maintaining his gentlemanly poise. No official complaints or escalation followed, and reports suggest the two have a cordial history tied to the Southwest politics. We have a picture of Adeleke's post, which says, "My darling wife at Titilola Adeleke, you have always been there for me in rough and good times. You are a strong pillar of support who strengthens me in all spheres of life. You remain a paragon of beauty, self-control, and discipline in your private and public conduct." Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that
My
for a
dancing
second?
governor, shoot.
Can we talk about that for a second? You remain a paragon of beauty, self-control, and discipline in your private and public conduct. That's a very low blow.
Yeah.
It's silent low blow, And he went for that to say, ever since we met, you have demonstrated your deep love and affection for me. And the last few decades, your contributions to the family growth and successes cannot be underestimated. Your day is therefore blessed as you are a blessing to countless beings on this earth. And then he went further. As you mark your day in good health and strong hearts, I pray to the Almighty God to continue to strengthen, protect, and prosper you in all endeavors. Together we have been winning. I know and pray that we shall continue to win together. As you clock 60 today, I pray for more wisdom and strength. As you this is amazing.
Yes, now.
As you clock 60 today, I pray for more wisdom and strength as you contribute your own quota to the development of the family of our dear state. You are an indispensable partner as we paddle the canoe of the stateship for good governance. My dear wife, I truly love you, and I say happy blessed birthday. Please, can we have the first? Can we have the first?
I'm you.
Can we have the first, please? The first post where that low blow. Should I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The sixth line. The sixth line. The sixth, seventh, and eighth line is it says a lot about what happened in that event.
Of course.
You remain a paragon of beauty, self-control, and discipline in your private and public conduct.
Emphasis.
That's just wrap up the whole thing.
Emphasis on private and
public conduct, self-control, and discipline in your private and public conduct. So is he trying to say that our dearly beloved senator?
Of course, now that when you were reading it, I was saying, shoot, my governor, shoot.
My God!
I saw the reaction of Mrs. Remi Tinubu on X, and I was like, what are you doing?
What is
Did you come out public when you heard this? Have you gone publicly to say, no, it's just like something I've already spoken with the man and we laughed over it? Did you say that? No.
Even if the Nigerians will still not let that go. That is a slap to the whole state.
And the other thing I love about what the governor did was to keep calm.
Yes.
Even when he heard that,
and
he kept on singing.
In his speech, he still,
danced.
Appraised her
Yes,
and
congratulated. Yes,
congratulated
because
her
he is a co-host to that event.
and he showed that he is a bigger person,
Yeah,
both
of
in
course.
stature and
Of course,
in,
now
character.
you can't just.
You cannot
If he had
play
done,
emotion.
yes, they would have called him in quote Umarapa.
Yes,
You
and
understand? So
they
he's a
would
big
have.
boy.
It would have been. It would have been more than what we saw in
And
that
there's
video.
another thing that I'm even looking, the other angle I'm looking at. If the other day we heard he has decamped to Accord Party.
Accord Party, yeah.
Now, if he had decamped to the APC before this event, he may, and just under probability, he may have, listened to the First Lady. And
he eventually listened to her. Whether
no, he kept on singing.
He continued, and then she came back and said what she said, and then he said, "Okay,
but at least in the first instance, he didn't just stop. If he were to be
Mr. Fred, it's not like Mr. Fred. It's not like there's any.
She can influence the husband to do whatever she wants the husband to do. She wants the husband to do.
After all, she got somebody arrested sometime.
Okay,
right?
you understand?
Time,
okay,
right?
you understand?
Allegedly,
if she cannot use the office of the First Lady, she will use her husband, who is the president.
The office of the power.
I told you, I said we have rascals as politicians in our space.
Is good. Though no legal action or formal apology ensued, the incident fueled memes and debates on X, formerly Twitter, about democracy, with users asking who has more authority, a governor or the president's wife. It also reignited calls for reining in unelected influence of power, the power drunkenness. It says a lot.
I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace.